Hello and welcome to my parenting session on risk and resilience in early years. I am RF Karedia, an early childhood educator and practitioner. As an early years practitioner, I see stress in my preschool classroom every day. Some stress is not bad at all. In fact, it is good for healthy development. Some of my preschooler had hard time coming to school or meeting an adult for the first time. But in a caring and supportive environment and having a strong relationship with me, they become resilient and adjusted in a new environment quickly. However, there are some stresses that need parents and caregivers' attention. If children experience neglect and lack of support, these stresses could have damaging effects in their life. In today's session, I'm going to talk about these stresses and I am going to share you my tested tips that help build resilience in you and your children. Stay tuned to find out more. Every child experiences trauma. Let me share you some example of stresses that I have observed in my preschool classroom. One of them is children having fixed schedules like extracurricular activities such as swimming classes in the afternoon. These children feel challenged and stressed when they don't have opportunity to play with their peers. Others are children who have severe challenges in setting up daily routine. For example, potty training. Other indication of their stresses are changes in their behavior like nail biting, thumb sucking, paper rubbing or tearing. As a early year practitioner, I try to find out about these stresses by talking to them and playing with them and applying strategies that make them resilient. There are also other stresses children receive from parents. Most of the parents I deal with are immigrants who recently moved to Canada. Those parents go through a lot of stress in terms of finding housing, jobs, daycare, school, getting familiar with the new environment. I have observed a particular scenario where mothers and children came to Canada first and their spouses are still back home. These settling stresses get worse sometimes and it gives a lot of strain to children that makes it difficult for them to adjust in a daily classroom routine. Sometimes the parents who are in rush in the morning may feel stressed if they forget their child's belonging at home or if they are late for work, and in many cases their stress can be seen through the eyes of their children as they face difficulty in the settling in the daily routine. There are also parents who have control over their children. For example, in my classroom, I have observed that when I ask a question to a child in the morning when they come, they look to their parents to answer for them. Whereas in the class, they are very vocal while playing inside and outside with their peers. As an ECE, I try my level best to minimize parent stress level by fostering a strong relationship with them and support them to encourage their own personal resilience. I also try my level best to ensure that I design my weekly program in such a way that it builds resilience in my preschool children. For example, I include stories and play that have particular lessons of problem solving and facing hardship with courage and hope. For the last 2 months, I have been on the journey of understanding resilience in context of early years educators. Many scholars describe resilience differently. Dr. Anne Maston describes it as an ordinary magic, a quality that children have. Children have curiosity and the ability to relate to others. They have the potential to survive and to be successful despite all the challenges. There is another understanding of resilience. Dr. Richard Lerner describes it as a relationship between the person, the individual characteristic like self-regulation behavior to the person ecology, their family, their community, healthcare and education system. So it's a relationship between the person and person ecology. Finally, Dr. Michael Unger states that resilience is our capacity to navigate our psychological, social, cultural, and physical resources to sustain our well being. Imperatively, these resources must be provided to an individual in such a way that is meaningful in their context. These definitions change my understanding of resilience. Resilience does not mean only helping children to cope with their stress by having healthy conversation with them or with their parents, or supporting children by designing a program that meets their individual need. It is also building capacity in children, in their parents, in their caregivers to avail the resources, to avail the community resources, and also the empowering the community to make those resources accessible and available for them which they need. This new perspective made me think resilience at four levels: at individual child level, parents and family level, childcare level, and an ECE level. At an individual child level, I develop capacity in them to learn and relate to others. For example, introducing healthy routine like healthy eating, free indoor and outdoor play, reading stories with them, having conversation about positive thinking. Circle time is another great daily routine. I use circle time to help them learn, listen, take turns, pay attention, and playtime. They plan and they plan their play using imagination and problem solving skills, and this playtime is an opportunity for me to develop child's awareness on how to regulate their own feelings and let other knows how they feel, especially when they are sharing their toys. I also promote resilience by introducing emotion games in a circle time, showing different emotion flashcards like happy, sad, and mad, and asking them about it and telling them it's okay to be sad or mad and it's good to talk about it. And I'm also give them and discuss with them different ways of controlling their own emotions. For example, sitting in a quiet area. It is very important for children to have strong relationship with their peers, caregivers and parents to be resilient. Therefore, I designed different programs like celebrating different days, Mother's Days, Thanksgiving Days, Grandparents Days, which encourage children to have relationship with their peers, their parents, their caregivers, and we have different activities on these days like drawing pictures, singing songs, looking at the family pictures together. And I also invite different professionals like police officer, firefighters, doctors in my classroom. This will help children to see themselves as a part of community. At a parent and family level, I encourage parents to have regular routine for their children to follow, maintaining appropriate limits and engaging in a positive parent-child interaction. For example, I introduce reading program where children pick their favorite book from the reading corner in my classroom, and they read with their parents over the weekend, and I'll ask them about the story on Monday. At a daycare level, my fellow staff and I always have a positive attachment with children and ensure that parents feel welcome and supported. This promotes parents to share experiences of stress and seeking support. Daycare is a platform that shares what community resources are available and what is missing. This helps parents to find helpful resources and services like health clinics, community services, places of worship, schools, and etc. I ask parents, what do you need? Because Many parents require support in understanding their needs before they can ask for any resource. I encourage parents to compare their current experiences to how they want things to be before asking what resources they need. This means reflecting on the current situation and imagining the future is something families facing adversity may find difficult to do. While I feel challenged and stressed as an ECE, I'm sure you will as a parent. It is important to stay calm, especially when it comes to teaching self regulation to children. At times, I get frustrated when children don't listen to me and do inappropriate behaviors. I take a quick 5 minutes break, take a deep breath, recollect myself, and then I bend down to their level and talk to them, validate their feelings, and help them in expressing their emotions. I always seek support from my supervisor and colleagues, especially when I am doing multiple tasks at the same time. For example, facilitating children, cleaning, dealing with parents, or in case of emergency. And I'm sure you'll be multitasking as well. So, it's good to reach out to people for help and support. I hope my practices and my strategies would be helpful for you. Enjoy your parenting. And for more early years news and resources, stay connected with me. Thank you so much for your time. Take care.